Jeffrey Purtee. Life goes better. Life goes better. Jeffrey Purtee.
January 2nd, 1987. My wife Tamara and I pull into Reno, Nevada. I'm a new graduate of Pfeiffer University in Charlotte, North Carolina. 10 days earlier, we had embarked on a cross-country journey in the middle of winter to come west and live the American dream. We have no contacts, no prospects, no money. We need jobs. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, anybody who's ever really needed work. As a new accounting graduate with a solid resume and college transcript, I expect to be a hot prospect for any firm in town. We begin our search. Within 1 week, Tamara comes home. Jeffrey, I'm cocktail waitressing at the Nevada Club Casino. Salary plus tips. To my surprise, the search isn't going quite so fast for me. In 6 weeks, I have interview after interview. The MGM Grand, Kafori Armstrong Accounting, the state of Nevada, the Reno Controller's Office. They go great. I'm getting plenty of job interviews. I'm just not getting any job offers. Tamara and I are out celebrating another great week of waitressing tips. She looks at me. Jeffrey, aren't you enjoying yourself? Of course, Tamara. I'm so proud of you. And Jeffrey, why don't you notify your face? Jeffrey, life goes better with a smile. My friends, it is time for a game of show and tell. This won't be pretty. If you have small children, you may want to shield their eyes. I am going to completely relax my face. Okay, Christy, there's no reason to start crying. And Russ, there's also no reason for any comments in the vein of, Jeffrey, you have a face that's just made for radio. I can be completely happy. When my face relaxes, it looks like I just bit a raw onion. I change my interviews. This is the kind of change I can get a hold of. Not like the change we heard this morning when Ed suggested that we roll the toilet paper from the bottom of the roll. I'm still recovering from that. I change my interviews. Now, you know how job interviews work. You get questions like, Jeffrey, what is your greatest weakness? You respond with a weakness that's really a strength. Well, Mr. Employer, I'm trying to impress. I confess, I sometimes become impatient with people who don't work as hard as I do. Now, I smile during the interview. Good question. I struggle with work-life balance. I so enjoy my work. I spend too much time at the office. Same questions, same responses. Now, I'm smiling. Can you guess the result? That's right, Dwayne. Job interviews become job offers, including the offer I accepted to work at the company, now known as NV Energy. I noticed changes everywhere. April 25th, 2004, 4:35 p.m. The sweet spring smell of sagebrush fills the air as I cruise south of Alturas in remote northeastern California. I'm enjoying the freedom of the wide open road, driving 90 plus miles per hour in a 65 zone. That freedom is presently curtailed as my rear view mirror fills with flashing red lights. Aha! I give the officer my biggest, friendliest smile. Good afternoon, officer. Lovely day, isn't it? Did you know you were driving 92 in a 65 zone? License and registration. He returns to his cruiser, stays there a while, comes back. I'm done for. Mr. Purtee, I have to write you a ticket. But instead of 27 over plus reckless driving, I think we can write this one for 10 over. Life goes better with a smile. Never was my ability to smile so challenged as when, after 3 decades together, my dear wife Tamara passed away suddenly after a brief illness. It was weeks before I could force a smile. When I did, however, I began to discover a smile's healing power. I started to remember the good times we shared, to treasure our 30 years together. Tamara's lesson, life goes better with a smile, reminded me that we honor our dear departed not by how we grieve, but by how we live. I'm blessed to have found love a second time. Elizabeth and I met in January 2012. We soon began dating. We recently celebrated our first wedding anniversary. It's a week after I proposed. We're out celebrating our engagement. I ask her, Elizabeth, what do you remember most about our first meeting? Jeffrey, you had a nice smile. My friends, we never know what turns life may take. For all we know, you may have recently smiled at somebody destined to be your future spouse. It is 27 years since Tamara taught me the lesson I needed to learn to turn job interviews into job offers. Like many of you, my life has been a mixture of times good, times challenging, times bad. Through it all, it has been my experience, life goes better with a smile.